Welcome to Primary Source Channel. We dive into the letters, the strategy, the tragedy, and the untold stories of 1914 to 1918. Every week, we explore the horrors and the humanity of a world in flames. Subscribe and join us on a journey back to the precipice of modern history. Let's start it. In the early summer of 1914, Europe was at the height of its power. It was an era of unprecedented progress, art, and industry. But beneath the surface, the continent was a powder keg of tension. For decades, four forces had been pulling Europe toward the brink. The war's origins are often summarized by the MAIN acronym, combined with a single immediate spark: militarism. A global arms race, notably the naval competition between Britain and Germany, led to massive military buildups, alliances, a web of mutual defense treaties, the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, and the Triple Entente, France, Britain, Russia, meant that a localized conflict could quickly escalate. Imperialism, fierce competition for colonies in Africa and Asia, fueled tensions among European powers. On June 28th, the spark was lit. In Sarajevo, a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. Within weeks, the alliance system collapsed like a house of cards. Austria declared war on Serbia. Russia mobilized to protect Serbia. Germany backed Austria and declared war on Russia and France. By August, the world was at war. Germany's plan, the Schlieffen Plan, was to knock France out quickly by swinging through neutral Belgium. But they were stopped at the Battle of the Marne. The War of died there. Both sides dug in, creating a line of trenches stretching from the Swiss border to the North Sea. This was the Western Front. This wasn't the heroic war soldiers had imagined. It was industrial slaughter. At the Battle of Verdun, one of the longest and costliest battles in history, and the Battle of the Somme, casualties were measured in the millions. Technology outpaced tactics. For the first time, men faced chemical gas, tanks, airplanes, and heavy artillery that could fire shells from miles away. While the West was stalemate, the Eastern Front saw massive movement as Russia battled Germany and Austria-Hungary. Meanwhile, the conflict turned global. From the deserts of the Middle East to the jungles of Africa, millions of colonial subjects from India, Senegal, and beyond were pulled into a fight for empires that were not their own. By 1917, the world was exhausted. Russia, crippled by famine and losses, collapsed into revolution, leading to the rise of the Bolsheviks and their exit from the war. It looked like a win for the Central Powers, until the United States entered the fray. Driven by Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann telegram, the U.S. brought fresh troops and the industrial might of the arsenal of democracy. Doughboys were American soldiers in World War I, named for their white dust-covered uniforms from Mexican border duty, who arrived in France starting in June 1917, initially seen as green but eventually fighting alongside allies, contributing over 1 million troops by 1918, often serving in integrated units with French forces, despite initial doubts. Doughboys fought in major campaigns, gaining respect and helping turn the tide against Germany. In 1918, Germany launched one final, desperate spring offensive. It failed. The Allied counterattack, the 100 Days Offensive, broke the German line. On November 11, 1918 at 11 a.m., the guns finally fell silent. The war ended, but the peace was troubled. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 redrew the world map. Four empires, the German, Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, and Russian, had vanished. New nations like Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia were born. But the treaty also forced Germany to accept war guilt and pay crushing reparations. While the League of Nations was formed to prevent future wars, the seeds of a second, even greater conflict were already being sown in the ruins of the first. World War I claimed over 20 million lives. It ended an age of innocence and began the era of modern geopolitics. Today, Over a century later, we still live in the shadow of the Great War. If you want to explore the personal letters and primary documents of those who served, visit the digital archives of the National WWWI Museum and Memorial. If you like this video, please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe the bell icon. Thanks for watching.